Hello, everybody. How you guys all doing? So, I've been working on the game for a few hours by myself, and I'm really happy with how it's going now. I think I've got a good direction, and I think I have a good plan for what we're going to do over the next few days. So, those of you who tuned into the last stream know that I was doing a lot on enemy AI. And so, I've done some work on that. I have a good direction for where I want to take the game. I've taken a bunch of inspiration from those other places, and I think it's going good. I think we've got a good direction going, you know? So I'm just going to jump straight back into what I was doing before. I'll show you guys what I've been up to, and then we'll dive straight into enemy AI. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so before I was having a bunch of issues with the movement for the enemies being like kind of buggy and a bit annoying. So I went ahead and redid it all from scratch. And so you can see now how we've kind of got this enemy moving around, and they're switching between 4 different behaviors in a kind of state machine style way. And it's good, I like it. And it's much more predictable, and I think it fits the pacing of the game a bit more. So the one thing I didn't add was getting the shooting to work and implement that into the AI. So I'm gonna start off by doing that after I update some of the stream text, because I realized I forgot to do that. So the theme for today's stream is going to be, it'll probably be a shorter one by the way, since it's getting kind of late where I am, but we'll see. The theme for today is going to be enemy AI. So that's going to be what we're focusing on. And let's have a look. How long have we got left in the jam now? I'm going to guess it's about 3.5 days. We're reaching the halfway point, I think. Yep. 3.5 days, wow. Okay, let's update that text. I'm really hoping to pull everything out the bag at the end, to be honest here. Since I've spent a lot of the start of the jam on ideas and concepts, and we haven't got a great deal set in stone just yet, but I'm hoping to change that today and tomorrow. Okay. So right now we have an enemy, but they can't shoot. So let's fix that. So I've kind of got this like switch statement and the state machine kind of behavior. And if you were in the last stream, you'll notice how much cleaner everything is now. It's great. As well as that, I've planned out kind of the designs for the main enemies I want in the game. And so I don't know, I'm pretty excited, to be honest. I have some really cool ideas written down, and so I hope to start showing you guys those possibly towards the end of this stream or tomorrow morning, roughly. Okay, so we have an attack class already set up that will shoot our bullet. So now let's build this into the AI. So when we're in the attack state, I want to probably have some sort of aim timer. So the enemy will wait, pause, aim for a while, and then start shooting. So let's do that. Is it alive? What do you mean? Hey Pepe Kid. Oh, and of course, hi Victory Ha, by the way. Okay, let's keep working on this. Let me pop up chat actually on my second monitor. There you go. I saw it as a recorded broadcast. No, of course not. You've got the real me here. Do not fear. Okay. Oh, that is not how big I want the text to be. Let's scale that back down. Mutant Shrimp says, how did you end up with the mechanic of the game? I missed some streams. So the theme for the jam is an end is a new beginning. And so my take on that is going to be when you end the enemy's lives, when you kill them, you gain their abilities. So their sacrifice almost is like a new beginning for you. And so you're kind of this like parasite, evil spirit kind of thing that is, I don't know, constantly like possessing all the enemies in the level, basically. So that's my thought process behind that. And so now we've got to actually implement all these different enemies that you're going to control. So in this, so far in the attack state, I have it so the player stops moving, or the enemy rather stops moving. So let's start by adding some sort of aim timer. So I'm thinking we create a timer, and then once that reaches a certain threshold, we'll then shoot. So we kind of give the player a bit of warning first. Let's call this aim time. And so we can then create this. And so time to end or stop aiming. So a top-down shooter, exactly, yes. It's going to be kind of this like mix of shooting and also melee combat though. I've taken a lot of inspiration from like FPS arena shooters. So things like Doom, and then obviously games like Into the Gungeon, Nuclear Throne, Hades, if you guys are familiar with those. Okay, so when we switch to attack, we'll set our aim time, or our time to aim, what is it, time to end aim, equal to our current time, plus how long in the health or how far in the future we want our aim to finish. So that'll be our aim time. And then over in this state update loop thing, we'll check if our time to end aim is less than our time. So if we've waited a while for this enemy to imagine or we'll pretend to aim, then we'll finally shoot. Some time, then we will shoot, or what is it, attack, I believe we called it, yeah. Attack, and we'll attack in the direction of our player. And in here we can probably force a state change as well. We'll force a state change. Actually, no, let's not do that, because then we might get this cool behavior where their enemy stops, they wait for a second, they shoot, wait for a second, and then they go about doing a normal thing. We need to play around with these variables afterwards to kind of balance the enemies. Spider enemy, cool, they have Alex. I'm not really sure yet. So I was kind of taking inspiration from a lot of the kind of hell-like games, shooters you get. So things like Doom, and there's this really cool game called Devil Daggers, which I've taken a lot of inspiration from. And so inspired by them, I'm gonna try and go down this like monsterish kind of enemy style. So let's see what the names I have lined up for different enemies are things like skulls, spiders, barons, centipedes. So that's kind of the theming I'm gonna go for here. I also had an idea for possibly a more robot art style-ish, similar to, there's a game called Super Time Force, I think it is, that kind of has that aesthetic as well. So taking inspiration from loads of different places here. Okay, let's fingers crossed this works first time. Let's see, so aim time, we'll set that quite short, maybe a quarter of a second. Everything else already ready to go. Okay, let's have a look. Do they start shooting when they get close enough? they definitely shot. That bullet was slightly too fast though. Okay, let's reduce that a ton down to 6. I don't know why that was so fast. I swear before I had it around the same. Huh, okay. Let's dive into that bug, I guess. I don't think our aim time was working there either, so we'll have to fix that. Okay, so 2 things. Why is that bullet going so fast? And secondly, why didn't they wait at all? Okay, the second one I think I have an idea for actually. So we set our time to aim there. We check it here. In theory, that should be fine. Let's increase this and let's play again and see what happens. Okay. Let's do that again and let's... Okay, I need to time it perfectly. So as they get close, we're looking at time to kind of attack, no, time to end aim. So we want to see what, if anything changes about that variable. Okay, there, so 1.5, but we've shot immediately. That is not what we want to happen. We've also shot 3 times. I think that's more down to, actually, I don't know why that's happening, to be honest. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so we need to... No, we shouldn't have to though, should we? I don't think, no. Yeah, so we set it in there. Our time to end aim. I'm confused what I'm missing here. So our aim time... Oh, okay, I see. I set the aim time for the wrong enemy. So this one is technically our player. Let me rename that actually, just so I don't make that mistake again. So right now I'm kind of in the prototyping stage. So I've just set one of these enemies to immediately start as possessed. In the real game, I'll probably have some sort of like fiction or cutscene thing that sorts this out instead. So I need to make sure I'm setting the right enemy, especially since I haven't made these prefabs yet. And I'm going to do that right now. So let's make them prefabs as well, so that doesn't happen. Then we'll set one of them to possess. This will be our player character for now. Okay, let's set aim time to 0.5 seconds and let's see if that fixes it. So they should come. Yeah, they're fleeing. Still wondering. So the different color lines mean they're doing different behaviors. Perfect. Okay. Issue number 2 solved. Let's go on to the first one where why is the bullet so fast? So let's see where we set the bullet speed here. Let's try first of all just reducing the speed. That should be a good starting point. 12 shouldn't be, actually 12 could be quite high actually, and I guess before as well I probably did the same thing. When I decreased it, I did it for the wrong enemy. So let's try that again. Let's set it to 6 just so we make sure that it's definitely slow this time. That was not fixed. Also, we instantiated a ton of bullets there. That's way too many. Okay, so something's definitely going wrong when it comes to our attack. Let's have another look. Oh, why'd that open Anki? Let's have a look. I feel like I'm not resetting. Okay, we're not even checking if our fire rate is within limits or whatever. So let's start by doing that. Time to can attack is less than or equal to time.time. Okay, that could just fix it immediately. Let's have a look. My guess is that will stop the number of bullets spawning, but they'll still be going way too fast. Yep. Okay, why is that bullet going so fast? Oh, that's annoying. Let's come back. Please decide to shoot this time. It's a 50-50 chance between whether or not it starts shooting or wandering like that. Bullet speed seems fast. Yeah, I might agree with you on that one. For the life of me though, I have no reason why. I cannot fathom why. Okay, please. Okay, it's gonna shoot and it's gonna wait our 0.5 seconds like we told it to. Perfect. Okay, any second now. There we go. Okay, that's our bullet. We set to a speed of 12 and it's traveling at, that is not 12 meters per second. And does it speed up? No. Okay, so it's traveling way too fast. So there's something going wrong in the actual bullet script, oddly enough. So what's up here? Ah, I bet we're not normalizing our direction. Yeah. That's something we should really check for, but hey. So what normalize mean is that when we're passing in our direction towards the player, we're not making that direction length 1, kind of. So we end up scaling our force by however far away our player is from, or our enemy is from the player. So we can fix that really quickly by going into the script and just adding .normalized here. Okay, let's add in a few of these enemies and see how the entire thing feels then. Oh, and before we do that, let's just give let's add in some of the player controls as well. So we'll move based on directional keys. Yeah, so the way I've programmed it is for every enemy, they have 2 update loops. One for when they're being controlled by the player and one for when they're just being controlled by their normal AI. So let's add in the player update. So we will get the move input. So I have that in a class called player controller, instance move input, and we'll times that by our move speed. Oh, we won't actually. No, we'll play that as a separate variable because I'm using this function I created earlier for movement. And that's good enough for now, but let's add a to-do here. Add in dash, because that's one thing this enemy will be able to do once we implement it. Add in dash and attack. Okay. Hopefully this works. Let's move them around a bit from the starting point. So that's our player. Let's spread these enemies out a tiny bit. Okay, awesome. So they're all coming in on the player. They're splitting off. One shoots us. Cool. Hopefully I don't die immediately this time. We can actually get a feel for what the game's like. Let's throw down these bullets. So we'll store them to 12. Let's reduce that to 6, I'm going to say. It's probably fine for testing. We can work on that a bit later. Let's reduce it even further. I'm thinking I want to reduce their move speed as well. Okay, that's very slow, but for now that's all good. Okay, let's do one other thing, and that is reduce their fire rate. Let's make it 1 bullet a second rather than 2. Okay, this seems good to me now. Let's get rid of the gizmos while we test this. Okay, one issue I have this now is when they wander, it seems a bit too random to me. I want it to be a bit more like strafing from side to side rather than just moving in any direction. So I have a few ideas on how I can fix this. And one of those is to just move that variable over here. And in theory, that should make an instant difference. Where's wander distance 5? Let's reduce that to 3. Oh yeah, for testing purposes, let's just... Oh, all their HP is only 1 actually as well. Let's fix that. Let's set HP to 2. Let's set this guy to 20 just so I don't keep dying while we're testing. Okay, let's just watch these enemies for a second and see how they react. Okay, I'm liking this, I think. They're kind of like swarming around the player, but not getting too close, and I like that. If anything, I might make them actually stand a bit further back. So let us find their flee distance. Let's increase that to 4. And trace when they're beyond distance. Yeah, let's increase that. No, let's keep that how it is. Let's increase that by 5 actually instead as well. That is probably all good for now. Okay, let's try this. Okay, how does this feel? Okay, we probably want to add some sort of randomness to the AI as well, because they kind of all move in sync. I'm a huge fan of that. So let's add a tiny bit of randomness. State change time. Let's add public float. State change time. The very creative name of state change time. Randomness. Let's just say R&D for short. Okay, where we add this, let's then just add a tiny bit of randomness. Random.range. Randomness, and then let's just make the first one negative. Perfect. So this will just be some tiny number that adds a little bit of variety to the enemies. And I believe we call this somewhere else as well. Maybe not actually. Okay, no, that seems all good. Let's set that to maybe 0.25, I'm gonna guess. State change on 1.5. So let's up that, let's say 0.3. So they should, yeah, so slightly more random in their movements now. We're getting swarmed immediately though. So let's say let's increase their chance to wander and decrease their chance to shoot. think that's okay now. Let's just make sure this plays well. Okay, they're shooting, they're kind of wandering, shooting, wandering, shooting. I like this. Okay, this is good, this is good. They're very overpowered right now because they can kind of swarm you with bullets and there's not much you can do about it. But I think this is something that can be solved later on when we add more enemies and give the player more abilities. He seems like eating a slice of ham. Yeah, the visuals do leave a lot to the imagination right now. Okay, I like this a lot. I like this enough that I will probably turn this into a post for Twitter or something later. For now though, we can tick another thing off our checklist, and that is the shoot behavior. So there's one more thing I want these enemies to do, and that is a dash. So how am I going to go about implementing this? What I think is, so the way we're deciding whether or not we're going to wander around when we're near the enemy or attack is just based on a random variable. So I'm just going to add another option to that, a really small one, saying that 1/10 of the time we're going to dash. And that is towards the target. So I'm just going to say we're going to dash in a random direction and we'll see how that plays. If not, then all's good. We can change how they behave later on. Okay. Let's just plop in a random direction and let's see how that feels. So every about 10 seconds on average, they should just dash. I can't remember if I implemented the dash fully yet or not, so we may get some errors. Yeah. Okay. No one's dashing just yet. What was the error with? Oh, okay, that's fine. That doesn't matter. So we set our behavior to dash. Stay in case. So let's add a case. If behavior state is dash. Actually, no, we can implement this a slightly weird way, but it will be fine. So in the dash function, we set is dashing to true. And then over here, if dashing is true, we perform our dash all nice and normal. So when we stop our dash, then we want to make sure to revert a few things. So let's also set, let's call this function. So we force a new state change. What else is there to do? Dash, call the dash, force state change. I mean, that should be fine as far as I'm aware. Let me just double check that all the variables are set right. So one of the interesting problems this game presents is the fact that the enemy's abilities have to not only be fun for the player to play against, but also for the player themselves. And I have a feeling the dash is working. It's just kind of hard to distinguish because it's so slow. So let's speed that up. Was I setting the dash speed until the bullet speed at one point? I think I was. Huh. Nice to know that now, I guess. Okay, let's up that to 15. Let's see, do we get anyone to dash? Oh, okay. There's one person. There's another. Okay, why are they shooting so much? What has changed about that? Oh, okay. This should actually be the opposite way around. So when that's above 25%. Why was it giving that? Honestly, that could just be up to random luck before that it felt okay. Okay, that feels good now. Are we gonna get anyone to dash? Okay, yes, nice. Okay, this is good. Oh, okay, that feels great to have finally got this working. There's a couple of things I think would make the dash a bit better if we had a bit of like when we have the firing, we have the player stop when they actually, I know we could fix that. Like how we have the firing where the player stops first, fires, stops again, and then goes back to their normal behavior. We can do something similar with the dash quite easily if we just don't reset it. So in here then, we will do a case, we will check, see if state is dashing. Break, and then we'll say if we're not dashing, but our state is still dashing, we'll just do nothing. We'll just wait it out. So the reason I have a separate variable is this variable is dashing, controls whether or not we're actually doing the dashing movement, whilst this one just controls whether or not it's like the AI's intention as such. So it's a bit confusing, but I think it's the best way to implement this with my current system. Okay, if we're not dashing, we just do nothing, no movement, and all should be fine. Okay. And I think that actually finishes off the spider enemy, which is amazing. Okay, they're kind of all moving away, taking shots at us slowly. Nice, nice. We've got a dash, they stop, they go back. Okay. Fantastic. That's what I like to see. Ooh, do I add one more variable in, or is that pushing the complexity a tiny bit? Okay, let's just do it. So what I'm thinking is at the end of the dashing and shooting states, we'll just set a very specific timer for when we want this next state to change rather than relying on the one we had before. So that should just make it feel slightly, then the AI feels slightly more snappy, which I think should be okay. State, return time. That's not very descriptive, but well, we'll hope you work that out, future Adam. State return time, and the way that's going to work is when we finish our attack, where do we call that? Oh yeah, so when we're in here or in here for the dash, we'll call once. Is this a cooldown timer? Kind of, in a way. It's the time after we finish dashing or attacking that will take us to go back to like wandering around for the enemy to just start moving normally. Let's see, where's the best bit? Okay. Ooh. I'm not, okay, actually no, this will be fine, yeah. So let's go into our dashing, where do we call our dash? Here. So in here, we'll then set our state, change start, our state, what's it called again? Time to change state, there we go. Equal to time.time, plus how long it will take for our dash to finish. So our dash time, or dash duration rather, and then also plus our state return time. So this new funky variable we're adding in. Orange Sensei says, "Hey Dinosaur, I really love your platform tutorials and I'm sticking with your co-styles." Oh, that's awesome. Oh, thank you. It's so cool seeing how many people have actually like found the platform with tutorials useful. So that just puts a smile on my face every single time. Okay, and we need to add that in for the dash, or not the dash, the attack as well. So we'll go in here, and then we'll add in our aim time, state return time, and that should work well once I add the variable. I'm thinking a quarter of a second for this timer. This one's much more almost hidden in the AI, but I think it will make it slightly better and stop them from just standing still after finishing dashing for ages. That's the main reason I'm adding this. Return time, there we go, and we'll set that to 0.25. Actually no, slightly longer, let's set 0.5. I'm really gonna sit tight and gonna learn from the streamer. Well, I hope I can teach you something, because wow, we've got to make this entertaining to watch, I guess. I don't know. It's fun trying to explain myself as I kind of make something myself. It adds like a nice challenge and forces me to make sure I'm solving problems in the right way. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Can we get one to dash, and then there comes. Okay, I'm really happy with this actually. I think this feels awesome. So they're kind of shooting, dodging around us. They actually, the enemies feel really alive, I feel like, even though they're just squares, you know? That's kind of the power of AI. Of course, it'll be like a long version of those tutorials, yeah. I spend a long time editing those tutorials, really trying to cut down the information. So live streaming is like a completely different change of pace. Definitely get to sit back, chill. It's much more, I would say much more about the experience of making something or watching someone make something rather than what they're actually doing in a way. I know one thing I go back to a lot when I'm struggling for ideas when it comes to game development is looking at other people's game like devlogs. I always go back and watch the old Brackeys ones from Legendary jams and things like that. I don't know. Let me know, guys. So a lot of people come to game dev and are like, and they've never done programming before. So how many of you have actually used Brackeys? He stopped uploading videos like nearly 2 years ago now, which is crazy. He was the guy who basically taught me everything I know about programming in Unity, or at least at the starting point. So I don't know, do beginners still use Brackeys as like to teach them the starting points of Unity? I don't know. That's something I'd be interested to find out. Because he was like the single person who helped me get such a great start in Unity. And I know he was like that to a lot of people who started working in Unity around the time I did, when game development on YouTube started blowing up completely. Okay, and with that, I think I can tick off the spider enemy from my to-do list. Let's go. That's awesome. Okay. We can delete this as well, because I decided to start streaming way earlier than I anticipated. Okay, here's a sneak peek at some of the other enemies I'm excited to work on as well. Ability charges. Is that something I want to work on now or leave till later? I kind of used his videos for starting point and just followed it. But if I look now, they're good for base. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of Brackeys videos are just amazing for beginners. And they're kind of a good starting point, though obviously there's so much more nuance in game development that you kind of have to look elsewhere to find exactly what you're looking for. Can you please tell me in short, what's your idea? Sorry for being late. Okay, I need to remember to put that as a pinned comment as well. So I have a short description in the description, ironically. And so kind of what I'm going for is the theme of the jam is an end is a new beginning. And so my take on that is going to be when you kill an enemy, when you end their life, you get a new beginning by taking on their abilities and like possessing them, quote unquote. So I still need to implement a few things here. So once I realize I have one more thing to do with the spider enemy, and once I get that done, I can show you a better example of how my idea will work in practice. But imagine for now, you have all these enemies, you kill one of them, and then you take control of them. That's kind of the gist of it. Okay, and thank you for reminding me of that, because there's one thing I forgot to do, and that is add in the player's controls. So when the player possesses this enemy, we need them to start using their abilities. This should be pretty simple to add though, I think. So we have the movement down already. So then let's check, or let's go in. How should we do this? In the enemy class, do we check the input? No. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to check for when our left mouse button is pressed and our right mouse button. Thanks, and superb indie game idea. Awesome, I'm glad you think so. I'm getting increasingly excited about finishing, or not finishing, but working on this game. So I'm very excited to see where it leads once we get a full gameplay system working. Okay, let's add in our input mechanism. So I'm going to come down here and create two. Actually, I'm not going to come here. I'm going to come to an enemy instead. I'm going to create two new functions. So these can be protected virtual voids. So this means that we can use these as a starting point, and then within the scripts that inherit from this enemy script, we can add in our own, we can adjust the behavior slightly. So virtual void on mouse left down, and let's create another one for on mouse right down. So these are left and right mouse buttons. And we're going to subscribe to an event I created way earlier in the jam that just checks for our mouse input. So player controller dot instance dot on mouse left down, and we're subscribing this event. Player controller dot instance dot on mouse left down add on. Oh, let's make this the right mouse button. Let's add on our on mouse right down, and I haven't changed its name, probably is what I'm guessing. Yeah, there we go. Let's make that right. Okay, so over in the spider script, we can inherit these functions and adjust them slightly. So let's go right down to the bottom, override on mouse left down. So this is going to be our shoot, and override on right down, which will be our dash. So in here, we can now check if our enemy can attack, if time to attack is less than a time. So this is our also do with our fire rate for the weapon. Then we can attack, and we'll attack in the direction of the mouse. So I'll be player control dot instance dot mouse position minus our current position. So we get the direction towards our mouse. Okay, let's do something similar for our dash. So if let's go copy time to dash, where is that? Oh, of course, we didn't even bother checking for that. Okay, let's just write that ourselves. Oh, we might need to add in our own timer actually. Time to dash end. Okay, we can just steal this variable, I'm thinking. Yeah, so let's add in a cooldown. Public flow dash cooldown. And so we'll just check that if time to end is less than equal to time.time, we'll start our dash. And again, in the direction of the mouse. Oh, we need to cast this to a vector too. Let's copy that over, add that into here. Let's, what do we need to do next? Time to dash. Okay, so we're gonna have to reset. So this calls this function. Time to end dash is that. So then once we end our dash, we're going, okay, so we need to check for our end dash. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. So we'll kind of copy this over here, and this will handle our dashing. Orange Sensei says, I'm curious, why didn't you get input, didn't you just get input like you did on your platform of scripts? So technically I am actually, but I've kind of made it into a bit of a neater way. To be honest, it's not very necessary. So behind the scenes, I am using get input. But instead of using this everywhere, I've just turned it into an event, which I'm then calling in this script. So technically I am, but I'm just using some behind the scenes magic, which actually isn't that necessary now I think about it, but it makes the code slightly cleaner in my opinion. So that's a very subjective opinion, I might add. Sirachai says video game. Yes, we are making video games. That's what we do around here. Hopefully good video games, though that's kind of a 50-50. Okay, dash. If we are dashing, we're going to do our movement like a dash. Oh, we need to add a check here then. When we're not dashing, then we'll allow normal movement. And then if timed dash end, oh, yeah, then we stop our dash once our dash time is over. And just for the player, we'll reset this to add some sort of cooldown. So that is equal to time.time plus dash cooldown. I hope I don't break something by using this timer twice, but it should be completely fine. Okay, while we're here, let's add an attack as well. Keep our code nice and organized.
Get all your videos ad-free and watch uninterrupted.
Oh, some of the jam code I did when I was younger. Wow, that was messy. And to be honest, most of this still is, but now that I have an audience watching, I've got to at least have some standards. So let's keep everything nice and pretty. So what do we need to do? We need to check. Oh yeah, so we don't need to do this here actually. We can do it down here. And actually, that's probably all we need. Let's see if this is working. Now, imagine if this works first time, that would be crazy. Don't mind us, have your way of code. Yeah. Whoa. That looks very cool. So why is that happening? So am I calling something in the wrong place? Oh, so I see. Okay. So so the issue is I am checking in the spied enemy. This is all only happening if the player is controlling this object. However, I'm not checking if these are being controlled by the player. So the easiest way is probably just to add a quick, or actually even better, let's add a base. So let's call the original function. And then what we're going to do in the enemy is we'll just call return if this player isn't possessed currently by the player, we will just return. That's a nice easy way to fix that for this enemy and any future enemies. Okay, all should be working now in theory, though obviously this is game development, so that ain't gonna happen. Okay, nothing changed. I mean, now that I think about it though, the gun is working fine. I said until it stopped working. Okay, never mind. Back to the drawing board. What is going wrong? If the player is not possessed, we return. But that isn't happening. This is very strange. I don't really know why this is happening. I'm kind of baffled by this. Generally, a good rule of thumb in game development is if you come across a problem that seems to defy the laws of programming and the universe, you've probably been spending too much time in front of your computer. However, I'm going to completely ignore that and let's just try and break our way through this problem. Okay. I don't even know where to begin debugging this, I'm going to be honest. Okay, so somewhere this code is being called for some reason and it's not I'm very stupid. Okay, so obviously returning here isn't going to change anything, because if we return here, it's just going to send us back to here anyway. So that fixed absolutely nothing. Wow. I don't know if there is a way you can program it to just completely return back, but there probably isn't. So let's instead do it the proper way, the way I probably should have done it from the starting point. And that is only subscribing to these events if we're being controlled by the player. So the way we'll do this is in possess, we'll subscribe to them, and then on destroy, we will unsubscribe from them. Which is how we really should have done it from the get-go, but hey, it's always worth experimenting a bit, isn't it? Let's call possess in here. That's probably something we should consider doing. This kind of annoys me because we're calling some things twice here, but it won't matter, so hey. You can make this is possess protected. Wait, what do you mean? Whoa. What have I done wrong here? Already defines. I mean, I can just delete the script. I'm not using it. That was when I was experimenting on earlier. I don't know why it's just suddenly, for no reason, decided to throw up an error. Do enemies press the mouse button too? No. So I'm handling that completely in a separate system. Like share the variable between inherited scripts. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, I believe. Actually, let me just double check that. Yeah, so yeah, you could use protected. I'm using public just so that other completely different objects can access it as well. Though I don't actually know if I'm using it. This could probably be public and it'll work fine right now, I think. Though I've just kept it public because that makes a bit more sense to me for the long term. Okay, so we're shooting. That works great. The bullet speed seems way higher for the player, so am I using the dashing speed instead? Oh, like before, I didn't normalize it, so let's just come to the player and direction dot normalize. That's a good safety net to have. Okay, let's just leave that how it is then. The good thing about game jams is you really can't overthink what you're working on. Oh, these bullets are painfully slow, and when I balance the game, I'll probably fix them, because when you're in a top-down shooter, you want the bullets to go fast. You want them to feel them whizzing away from you, hitting an enemy. And right now, they're kind of painfully slow, but I'm going to leave them as is, just for the sake of game balance. And then later on, once we truly start balancing this game, we can fix that up. Okay. This all seems working good. And what you should notice now is I can show you the possess mechanic. So we've just damaged this enemy. And so now I'm going to chase after him and press space, and we should take control. No, okay, that didn't work. Let's try it. Let's try it again. Are they two shot? Yeah. Let's see if we can get it to work this time. There we go. So you can see how we kind of snap to that enemy and take control of them. Come over here. Actually, oh yeah, the dash is working. I've completely forgot about that. So we can shoot that enemy, dash over, take control. Perfect. So let's do this when we have a bit more enemies. Dash over, take control. Yeah, so this is kind of the possession mechanic working. I really hate how slow the bullets are. It makes the whole game feel horrible. So let's fix that. Ooh, yeah, this is one of the issues where having the enemies have the same power as the player could be a bit annoying to work with in the long term, but we can deal with that later. For now, let's bump up the attack rate and let's bump up the movement speed. And bump up the, where is it? Oh, my bullet speed, yep. It's kind of like watching, kind of Watch Dogs started hacking lives. Oh, okay, that has become much faster very quickly, and that feels way better. Oh, with the dash as well, actually, that works great. Okay, they're kind of all killing each other, but so take control. So the way I want to have it is I really want the combat to create loads of interesting micro decisions. And so here is my brainstorming thing as well for this game. These are the kind of decisions I want to be going through the player's head when they're playing the game. I want them to be thinking about which enemies they should prioritize focusing on, if they have enough health and ammunition, though I've gotten rid of ammo now, I think. Why is this stop like this? Why? Don't understand. Okay, if I close, and if I reopen it, will it be fixed? No. Okay, cool, we just vibe with this for now. Yes, you want to be constantly asking your decisions, assessing your surrounding, and leading to loads of these really, really cool micro decisions. And one of the ways we're gonna try and make these happen is by tying in the combat and your resources. So these are things like your health, your HP, and your abilities and their cooldown, which is what I was going to implement here, though I don't think I'm going to get around to that today. I think I might leave and think about that overnight a bit. So for now though, I think I already implemented it, but when you switch to an enemy, you gain full HP. Perfect. So that's kind of giving you another reason to want to switch enemies, even if it otherwise wouldn't be very beneficial for you. Let's increase the distance we can possess. Actually, we could just make it infinite, quote unquote. So yeah, oh, that could actually feel much nicer, you know? So you just attack the closest one, yeah. Oh, that feels very overpowered. Like this snapping to different locations feels great. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break just so I can refresh the mind, you know, help take my focus off of just coding, and then let's come back and let's start talking about one of these other enemies. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna implement first, but let's see. Okay, see you guys all in a couple of minutes. Let's find a nice chilled background to pull up for now. Okay. I'll see you guys all soon. Okay, hey everyone, I'm back. Hey W8 streamer. It's kind of relaxing with music in the grey background for coding. Oh, that's good. That's kind of the vibe I want to go for. Because game jams are kind of stressful, and so, you know, we can change it up a bit with the lo-fi music. Okay. I've got some coffee now as well. Refilled my water. Good to go. Okay. So we kind of have a few options now. We can work out what we want to work on next. So I want to make a bunch of enemies that are fun for the player to control. And actually, I'm just noticing now, the text is a bit skewed on the stream, isn't it? Let's fix that. Okay, that's slightly better. That was annoying me. Okay, awesome. I want to make a bunch of enemies that are fun to control for the player, but also present interesting decisions, like I was saying before. All these micro decisions that make the combat more interesting. So I came up with some ideas. And now we kind of have free reign over which one we try and implement. So that's what I've got to decide now. So the first one I came up with some sort of sword wielding dude, and then he could have some sort of ground pound ability. I want every enemy to have one main attack and then also one secondary ability. So then it's kind of, you control them all in the same way, and so that helps with the cohesion of the game. The second enemy I have is some sort of snake-like centipede kind of style enemy. So they would have some sort of like SMG, I'm thinking, some sort of long range weapon, and then you could burrow away. So this would be kind of like a dash, and so it will give you a couple seconds of invulnerability. What is Baron? I've kind of just given them all a few like random names I thought were cool. So you guys can probably see up here, I have a bunch of tabs open with enemies from other games or heroes from Overwatch. And so I'm taking inspiration from all of these.
Okay, I'll just chill then.
Let's pause that advert. I'm kind of taking, oh wow, we finished an entire playlist of lo-fi music. That's impressive. So I'm taking inspiration from loads of other games and their enemy design. One of the main ones is Doom. I kind of like this hellish theme that they were going for, so I might replicate something to do with that. And right now, obviously, all these ideas are kind of placeholder. I just want to experiment mainly with the abilities and see how they flow into the overall gameplay. Okay, I hope that music's good volume now. Okay, so Centipede has a burrow, the Baron has some sort of stomp. Okay, and then the Hog has a grappling hook. Now, I've worked with grappling hooks before, and so that might be one of the easier ones to get working immediately. I think it will also be one of the most fun ones for the player. However, if it's an enemy, is it fun for you to get grappled as a player by an enemy with a grappling hook? I'm not know. That's some sort of question we have to figure out first. Orange Sensei says, "Sir, can you try working with the Hog? I would love to know how to do that with physics." Yes, grappling hook physics are really interesting, though overall it comes down to, can it fit both the needs of being a great enemy and for awesome to play? So which one should I work on first? That is the question. I want another thing is that I want the enemies to also kind of have strengths and weaknesses against each other, since ultimately you're going to be taking control of them and then fighting other enemies. And so having this kind of rock, paper, scissors like system between them could be very interesting. Everyone's leaning towards the grappling hook, aren't you guys? Oh, I'm thinking, okay, so I think the grappling hook will also be the best idea if we can solve one question, and that is, how will that work as an enemy? how do we make it fun for the player themselves to get grappled by this like hog-like creature? So the way I'm imagining it is it will be kind of like, oh, actually, there's this character from Overwatch, which I believe is quite similar. Let me try and find it, and I can try and find a clip of how I want it to work. I haven't played Overwatch in a really long time, so if I can find the right character, that'll be kind of a miracle. Let's have a look. I believe his name might start with a W, actually. Okay, not having much luck here. Oh, Roadhog. I believe this is the guy that I'm thinking of. Okay, let me go onto YouTube and let me try and find a clip of this ability in action. So you guys can give you guys an idea for what's going through my head right now. Okay, let's wait for the ad to be over. So Roadhog, he has this kind of grappling hook paired with a shotgun, and I think I might just completely steal that, because I think that could work really well in our game. Let's see. Okay, it's time to watch some Overwatch gameplay, guys. So Mortal Kombat Scorpion's grappling it. Okay, maybe I can look at that later. I get angry when I meet a Roadhog as an enemy. Okay, so let's rewind there. So you guys can see this guy has this kind of shotgun and also this grappling hook. So if we take a closer look here, so you can see he hooks onto the guy in front of him, and then he pulls and shoots him in the face. That's kind of the gameplay I'm going for. Now, how would that work as an enemy? Could that work? Okay, I think I've made a decision. I'm gonna think about the grapple later today and tomorrow, and then decide when I want to implement it or not. Instead, I think I'm gonna go with this enemy, the Baron quote-unquote guy, instead, just for the sole fact that I think he's a safer character to implement and will be a bit quicker as well. However, if you're interested in learning about grapple physics, I've actually already done that. And so in one of the previous games I made called Synthetic itch.io, I actually made an entire game about a grappling hook. And so if you guys want to learn how to make a grappling hook, you can just check out my dev blog over there. Shameless plug. But yeah, I loved how this turned out. And so that's kind of the part of the reason I'm interested in doing it again, because this was so fun to work on. That system, and you can see how on the GIF how lively and animated it feels. Will that work as an enemy's ability? I don't know, but it's something I'm going to think about. For now, let's get back to our current jam, and I'm gonna go with this guy. Okay, let's get to work. So I doubt I'll actually finish. What should be the code name? I'm just gonna call it Sword Enemy for now, since that's what the guy's gonna be. He's gonna have a massive sword. Okay, let's start by adding all these. Well, let's start by inheriting from our enemy class. and bring in all the override functions. So we've got the player update, and of course we've got the AI update. And so let's start breaking down what we're going to need to do for this enemy. So we're going to have to create an attack. So let's create a function for that. And so how are we going to do this? I hope this gives you guys a good idea about how my process of like solving this problem, because at face value, this is quite hard. Like we've imagined this crazy enemy in our head, like literally starting from just this gameplay or from other games and gameplay that we've seen like online, and how do we transform this into actual code into an actual game. And so I hope this is cool to watch. Okay, so we're gonna need them to have an attack. This is going to be a kind of melee weapon. So I've actually already worked on that a couple of times this jam. I ended up scrapping the code, but I think I can reuse a lot of it for this. So that's good. So we're gonna have some sort of melee weapon. So this is gonna involve some basic physics, calculations, nothing too or physics checks, nothing too crazy. So that's fine. Okay, next up, we're going to need the stomp ability. So this is going to be kind of like a ground pound mixed with a dash. That's how I'm envisioning this. So some sort of dash or movement involved. They're going to have to become invulnerable. And they're going to deal damage on land. Okay. So we've kind of broken it down. I think the best place to start is probably going to be with the player's point of view, since we can easily test that. And then afterwards, let's come in and maybe tomorrow morning, we can start implementing the AI for this. The great thing is a lot of this is going to be very similar to the spider enemy AI. So I can copy a lot of this code I've already done over, and it's a great starting point. So let's start with the easiest thing, movement. To get movement working, that's super simple. We can just come over here, copy and paste this single line. We're just moving with the arrow keys, and we have most of it set up in the inherited class, so nice and easy. Okay, next, let's get the sword working. So let's create a new header for some variables. And this is going to be everything to do with our attack. So kind of similar to what we were doing before, we can have a float for our attack speed. Let's call it this time. Public float attack damage. Okay, and this is going to be a sword though. So we're going to need some other things. And so instead of bullets, like we had last time when we were using a gun, we are going to have some variables such as public float attack size. Attack size, float attack reach, I'm going to call it. So kind of the distance ahead of the player that we're going to cast or we're going to check for any collisions when we attack. Attack size, attack reach, and we're going to need a layer mask as well. Enemy layer. So we know if we've actually attacked, or if we've hit anyone. Okay, let's start with the attack. So when we call our attack, we're going to need a direction. Which way around this enemy are we going to start our attack? Okay. So we're going to get the direction. So let's start by calculating that to attack point. So this is going to be where we're going to base our attack off of. That point, and that's going to be equal to our current position. Then we need to get, current position plus the direction of our attack. Normalized, so we can't forget that after earlier today. normalize, and then times that by our attack reach. Awesome. Let's cast this to a vector 2. Okay, that's our attack point. So let's actually do the track. So collider to DA rate. This is going to be everything that we hit, and that is going to be equal to a physics check. And we're going to create a circle in front of our imaginary like circle collider in front of our enemy, and that is going to check for all the other enemies that we collide with. So we'll base our attack point. It will be the size of our attack, and we'll only check the enemy layer. Then for all these hits, for every collider in hits, we'll get its enemy component. And then we will make them take damage. And the damage will be our attack damage. So that is kind of it, to be honest. What am I missing? Oh, this should be an int, because all our health systems will be working with integers because they're just a bit nicer to work with, to be honest. Okay. That's kind of it, to be honest. I don't think we need anything else. Highs inherited. Oh, we already have an enemy layer. Perfect. Okay, so we don't even need that variable. Let's go ahead and add in this enemy. So I'm imagining this guy to be like a bit bigger than the spider enemies and be a bit chunkier, have a higher HP as well. So spider enemy so far. Now we can add in the sword. Let's just call it sword enemy for now. We can give these all fancier names later. Let's not worry about that just yet. Let's actually duplicate this enemy for now. Let's detach it from its prefab and let's call it sword enemy. Add it into here. Okay. And I'm going to copy over a lot of the same things as we're in our first enemy. So let's take the same possessed color. I want a kind of minimalist almost aesthetic to this game. So we have a very limited color palette, maybe like a pixelated retro kind of look, and keep everything quite geometric in terms of shapes. And I think that will come out really cool. And of course, I've like loads of emphasis on loads of blood splatter and particles and game juiciness later on. Though that will most certainly not be coming today or tomorrow. We definitely need to get the core gameplay done first. Okay, max HP is set that to just a 5 as a placeholder. 0.15, hit color to white. Enemy layer, enemy. Okay, attack speed. I want the attack to actually be quite slow and like powerful. So I'm going to set this to a relatively low 7.75. Actually, let's set it to 1, just 1 for now. Attack damage is going to be very high. Let's say I'm going for 3. That's kind of the feel I'm going for. Attack size, quite large. A radius of 0.75, let's say. Attack reach, again, quite high. Okay. Let's make this guy quite tall as well. One thing we could actually do is debug, draw, okay. And we'll draw a line from our transform.position towards our attack point, just so we get a good idea about where we're kind of attacking. And we'll set a duration of, I don't know what measurement, I'm going to guess it's in seconds, so let's just say 0.5. And of course, cast that. Let's make that a vector 3. Oh, this is color. Okay, let's set color dot red. Cool, and let's see if this works. So there will be 2 attacks for this enemy, right? So will they have different enemy states? Asks Orange Sensei. Kind of. It'll work similar to the spider enemy, which we were doing before. So you know how the spider enemy has a dash, yeah? And so I think the stomp will kind of function like that. So they will sort of have 2 attack states, yeah. But I'm going to treat this as a main attack and treat the other one as this like special ability. This isn't really a proper state machine as such. It kind of takes the good parts of a state machine and then just ignores everything else I don't really care about for this in a way. Okay, where sword enemy, perfect. Go back into Unity. Okay, I don't know if we're actually doing much here. Gizmos. Oh, of course, we're not even calling it, are we? He looks too big to dash. Yeah, so it's going to be much more of a leap into the air, stomp down kind of feel. We'll get to animations maybe tomorrow, but I doubt. Probably on what day is today's Wednesday for me, so probably on Friday my time. It's hard to know with the game jam though. I want to get all these enemies done first and then move on to art styles. Since probably the style of the game when it comes to art will very, very heavily be influenced by how much time I have left. That's kind of how game jams go. I can already feel the juiciness for the game. That's great. Okay. So, and we can just override the thing we created before with all the input events, and we can just use this and on mouse attack. Okay, so the one variable we haven't used yet is attack speed. So let's add a short cooldown so we can't just constantly swing our swords. Time to can attack. And we will do a quick check in here. If time to can attack is less than or equal to our time.time, we will attack. Upon doing that, we will also set our, actually no, inside here, we will set our time to attack, or reset it, reset the cooldown to get our current time, and add on our attack speed. The reason I'm doing the 1 divided here is we want this to be per seconds as such. So instead of this being the actual time between when we're able to swing our sword, it will be how many times per second we can swing our sword. So that's kind of what this 1 divided by lets us do. And our direction will be our player controller dot mouse or dot instance dot mouse position minus our current position, and we cannot forget to normalize that. Oh, we already did it. Perfect. Okay. Oh, of course, as always, we need to cast this. Keep forgetting to do that. Take a sip of the coffee. And a bit of water too. Okay. That should be working now then. Let's see if our debug looks right. Okay. So our attack is kind of working. You can see that red line. Let's disable most of these actually for now. You can see when we attack, that red line flashes up. We are also hitting ourselves, as you'll notice by the white flash. So let's add a quick check-in to make sure we're not killing ourselves. So if, oh actually no, let's not do it here. We'll just add a really small check-in. If this enemy is equal to this script, then, or base.this. Why can we not do it like that? Okay, let's just see this and that should work. Then return. Okay. Oh, we don't want it to return actually. I just realized that should be continue. Oh no. That could have proven a rather nasty surprise later on. Okay, fingers crossed this works. Now, one thing I did notice before is the aim didn't seem to be working. Yeah. So what's up with that? I'm gonna guess we're calculating the direction wrong somewhere. Transform dot position plus direction dot noise times attach reached. Okay, that's all good. Mouse position minus transform dot position. That should all be good as well. So we're getting our direction that we're aiming in. We're adding that direction. Oh. Ah, I see. Okay. So this would work fine for... Would it actually? Okay, I'm doubting myself now. Let me walk through this again one more time. Okay, so I guess the multiplication is being calculated first. That should be how it's meant to be though, right? Attack reach times our direction not normalized. Okay, let's work backwards here. So we're getting the direction that we want our attack to be. So that is our mouse position relative to where this enemy is standing. That's all good. Then we're getting this direction, normalizing it. Oh, do we want to normalize it yet? Hey Adam, thank you. Direction. We seem to have a conundrum. So let's zoom out here. Let's see, whereabouts is this attack point going? Okay, let's bring this enemy back to the center of the screen. Okay, so when we're down here. Okay, so now it's always pointing down. So there's something wrong with the direction and I cannot figure for the life of me what's up with it. There's just going to be one line of code here that's just really wrong. Okay, I'm going to guess something here is wrong. So let me do this again. Okay, so we have our direction. And so we want our attack point to be, let's say our attack point equal to our direction plus our transformed position. Vector 2 dot normalized size times that range minus transform. I had it as plus transform before, I'm pretty sure. You could be right there. Stevie, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't got no clue what you're talking about. Organize it this way. Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay, fingers crossed this works. First time. Okay, what didn't I spell right? Oh, continue. Okay, so that's getting a direction. That doesn't seem to work either. Transform the position. So if we just debug, this is what happens when you spend 2 hours coding in a row and talking at the same time. Your entire brain just stops functioning. Okay, let's work through this slowly and get through this, what should be a very simple problem. Okay, and yeah, so that was just getting our direction towards the mouse. All is fine. Okay, and so what I was doing wrong here is I was probably trying to calculate the direction twice when I don't actually need to. Okay, so let's get direction.normalize. And that is already looking far, far better. And then if we times that by attack reach, that's going to be fine. I think that's actually very similar to what you were saying, Orange Sensei, apart from your one kind of combines this line of code down here and this one. Because we have minus transform down here. And so I think your one's kind of a combination of both in a way. I'm not sure. All I know is that I'm struggling to think now, it seems. Okay, attack reach. Attack reach. Okay, let's hope this works. Okay, so you can see the red line. Oh, I didn't saw the mouse function, that's why. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thanks for the help though. That was a good starting point. Okay, it's working now. Fantastic, lovely. Let's increase attack reach slightly. Okay, well, actually, we increase it even more to be honest. 2. Okay, let's put in some more enemy. Let's bring some enemies in. Can we actually fight them? Why am I not moving? Play update move input. What? Have I not set the move speed? 3. Yeah. No, I haven't actually. There we go. Okay. Let's set it to be quite slow. I'm way too honored. Okay, there we go, moving. We're also controlling the other one, but we'll ignore that for now. I just wanted to see, can we actually fight this guy? Okay, it didn't do any damage. I don't know if it actually worked. Let's get rid of the one that we have as possessed. Let's bring in these. Okay, our attack doesn't seem to be functioning. Why could that be? Many reasons is probably the right answer, but we've got to try and find the one. Okay. So we know this is being called. Oh no, I'm getting tired, guys. What time is it? Okay, nearly midnight for me. Okay, so let's take another sip of coffee. Okay, so we know this section is working. We've calculated the correct attack point. Then we're doing this like physics check. So I'm going to assume our attack side. Oh, have we not set our enemy layer? That could be actually. If we haven't set our enemy layer on one of these two. Enemy layer is right, okay. Attack size is only 0.75. Maybe that should be way bigger. Let's Let's just make that 3 and just be super safe. A radius of 3 will be massive. Okay, we don't seem to still be doing any damage. These are set to the enemy, yeah? Yes. Attack damage is 3. Why is that then? Oh no, we seem to have another problem that breaks the rules of the universes. You know what that means. Okay. So, we're doing, for this 2D overlap, overlap circle all, I can still speak, at our attack point with our attack size on the enemy layer. That looks all good. Then we're looping through this. We're getting the enemy component and we're taking damage. If the enemy is equal to this, then we continue. Okay, let's add some debugs. So let's debug .log the enemy .name, and then let's also debug .log, or let's say enemy.name in sword path, in the sword swing, and then let's debug .log enemy.name will take X damage. Okay. Okay, it does work. Okay, cool. It does work. It just, I'm struggling to hit the enemies and I think the attack reach is still too low somehow. That I'm surprised by. Maybe let's increase the reach more. Increase reach to 3, that to 4. It works. Yay! Let's go. Okay. It seems to only be working some of the time. So then, okay, that worked. That didn't work. That worked. Okay, let's do some gizmos so we can see how our variables are looking. So Unity has this cool feature called on draw gizmos, which draws some like shapes and stuff in our scene just to help us debug our scripts. So let's do some of that now. So let's say gizmos.color equal to color.red. Yes, the joys of programming indeed. Gizmos color.red. Then let's set. Then we're going to draw a sphere, since I believe they only have 3D shapes. And the center is going to be our attack point. So let's reverse engineer this. So we're going to set it equal to, let's just imagine where our mouse is directly to our right. So we'll say vector3 dot right minus transform dot position. And then we'll normalize all of that. So you'll see we're kind of just copying the process of what we're passing, the direction we're passing into attack, and then how we're converting that to our attack point. So we'll normalize all of that like we have here. Normalized. We'll times that all by attack reach. Okay, that's our attack point. And then we'll set our radius to attack size. And that should be fine. Hopefully it should draw something in the scene then that gives us an idea for what our attack collider is looking like. Whoa. That doesn't look right. Okay, there's definitely something going wrong here. Okay, this is very fun to play with, by the way. So that's our attack size, all working good. our attack reach seems to be working well, but it's not in the right direction, is it? Because we're imagining would our mouse position, oh actually no, it's working right, because our mouse position would be relative to the player, so we actually need to add on transform dot position. So actually this is just our mouse position. That shouldn't be right, but I think that is right. Yeah. So this, I think, yeah. So it was actually the two transforms would cancel out. So that would be, this should just be, in our debug at least, should just be the mouse position. That should just be the mouse position. That seems really weird, but let's see if that's what it looks like. Okay, yeah, so there's something wrong with the way we're calculating it still. There's still something wrong. So the thing is, I've actually coded a sword thing before, and I did it a few days ago, and that happened very easily. So now I'm trying to wonder, why is it not working easily now? And the answer is probably that I'm very tired. So I can't see the bottom line of the code. Oh yeah, oh sorry about that. Yeah, hopefully I can try and keep it outside of the chat box. If it becomes annoying, let me know and I'll make the chat box teeny weeny and get that out of your way. Okay, attack reach. So transform dot position plus the normalization of clear draw instance dot mouse position minus a transform dot position dot normalize. Okay, if this doesn't look right now, I'm completely lost. Oh, let's put that on the brackets as well. Okay, if this doesn't work, this might be a I end the stream and come back tomorrow kind of moment. What are we at? I've been streaming for 1 hour and 55 minutes. Oh, maybe we get to the 2-hour mark and maybe we can, I don't know, play some games or something for a couple minutes before I finish things off. Oh, of course, cast that. Let's make that into a vector 2. Or we should make the other one into a vector 3 rather. I guess for now you can store the attack point as a variable. Yeah, the thing is though, the attack point's constantly changing based on where our mouse is. So I don't know if that would work. Where's our gizmo gone? Oh, that's not a good start, is it? Oh, there we go. We weren't selecting. Perfect. Okay, attack reach is 1. Oh, why am I setting its mouse position? I shouldn't be doing that. I should be setting it transform. Oh my, okay, there's so many. There's so many transform dot positions in this. It's getting very confusing. So it should just be, this should just simplify down to, and that's what we had before, I'm sure of it. Actually, no, it doesn't simplify down because that's a normalized. Okay, this is going to look really weird, but I think this is right. I believe what we need to do here is, yes, where we used to have this line, we instead have transform dot position, we instead have player controller, not player controller actually, sorry, vector 3 dot right minus that. Okay, please work. Okay, that goes up and down. I don't like this. Let's reset that. Oh, need to remember to save. Okay, so this kind of gives us an idea for what's actually happening. And I don't know what's going on here, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, this is a I come back tomorrow and fix this in the morning kind of issue, in my opinion. So, we're working on it. This is like half ticked. And so let me make a note to myself. This is completely broken. Broken, please fix, thanks. Okay. I think that is enough work on the game today. So instead of ending the stream, however, I think we should play some games. Not for too long, but just chill out, end the stream in a nice, relaxing way is what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna let you guys vote on what games we play. So let me find a few possible options. If anyone has any suggestions in the chat, you're welcome. You're welcome to ask. Okay. Thanks so much, Tay. I learned so much. Oh, that's awesome. If you guys managed to learn something from me sitting here and just failing at making a game, that's really cool. Okay, number one, the first option, which I'm going to put in the poll, is Super Hot. Super Hot is awesome. It's a shooter. If you haven't heard of it already, it's a super innovative shooter. And it's very, very interesting and very cool. What game should I play to finish off the stream? That will be the title of the poll. So first game will be Super Hot. The second game will be Nuclear Throne, because that's always cool. I'm trying to pick games that are kind of similar to what we're making, so I can still be learning game design, quote unquote. Let's add Hades to the mix as well. Let's have a look. What have I got in my Steam library that could be good? Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon. And Downwell. Let's finish off with some Downwell. Oh, I can't put Downwell on. Which game do I like? Let's get rid of Hades, because I've played that a ton. And let's put on Downwell. Okay. Vote away. Let's have a look. In the meantime, I'm just going to sit back and look at what I've done so far in a way. Inspired by Miss Devil Daggers. Circular. Devil Daggers is a very cool game, and one which I haven't had the chance to play yet. But you can kind of see from the screenshot, it's just super minimalist FPS game. I'm taking a ton of inspiration from it. This jam. Very cool. Oh, I could have put Ape Out on there as well. Ape Out's fun. Okay, let me get the poll a couple more seconds. So far we have 1 vote for Downwell and 2 for Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon. Oh, and we have another vote for Super Hot. Okay. So I'm thinking, I haven't actually played much Enter the Gungeon at all. So if that isn't what I end up playing, that'd be quite cool. Getting a run of that in. I don't even think I've gone past the first world. Enter the Gungeon, for anyone who doesn't know, is this like, it's one of the original roguelikes that came out kind of after Splunky set the stage for indie roguelikes. And it's all themed about, who would have guessed, guns. It's a top-down shooter, and it embraces the top-down shooter like in every way possible. Everything in the game is full by guns. The enemies you fight are ammo. There's about hundreds of guns that you can unlock. Orange Sensei said it's similar to the game enemies you're working on, I guess. Yeah, that is actually very true. I was actually thinking about looking at Enter the Gungeon earlier for inspiration when it came to enemy design. So maybe this will be a very helpful game design lesson. Okay, I think the vote's in. I think let's go with Enter the Gungeon. I might have to install it first, to be honest, but that shouldn't be too hard. Okay, 19 seconds. Let's get that done. Okay. You guys might have to give me some tips along the way since have barely played this game, even though I've owned it for over 2 years. Okay, let's mute the lo-fi music and enter Elite Gamer mode. Let me know how the volume is, by the way. I think I'll turn it down slightly. Throughout the galaxy, a legend is told. I only reached 3... Oh, that is very loud. Okay, turn that down. Okay, what's the volume on that like? Should it be higher, lower? I only reached 3 floors last time. I don't know how much that is. That 3 floors. I'm trying to think about... I think I've probably only got to the second. That's my best guess. It's perfect to me. Awesome. Okay. Let's get started. I'm gonna go with the Marine because that's the only guy I remember playing as before. Okay. So WASD to move. We got a dodge on our right mouse button. Okay, I believe that's all the controls I need to know because I don't know any others. Okay, we've got a trusted pistol start. Let's get into this. I love the sound effect for opening doors in this game. It's just really satisfying to see. Okay, flip over. Oh, I remember how to flip the tables. And did I get hit already? I think I did. Okay, room number 1 done. So you can kind of see how like all the enemies are weapon themed. So we've got a shotgun guy who is literally just a massive shotgun shell, which is amazing. Ooh, I like how the camera follows the cursor. That's something I should definitely consider adding to the game. That is a very cool VFX. Okay, more shotgun guys. I'm showing my inexperience here. Okay. That guy is a massive jello blob. Dead. Dead. Okay, 2 more. Dead. Dead. Wonderful. Into the next room we go. I just noticed the guys, the enemies, their eyes turn to little X's when they die. That's so cute. Oh, the sound design in this game is amazing. Whoa. These guys are slightly harder than the other guys we're fighting, it seems. This game really takes whoa, okay, the bullet hell genre very seriously. Like, alright, cool, he died. That wasn't too hard actually. Where's the other guy? There we go. Oh, awesome. Okay, that wasn't too bad. This is where we go. I believe is this a shop? No, okay, it's just another room. A good reference to the Baron character. Yeah, that's very true. I like the trail these guys are doing. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure we get some really good blood smears everywhere in the game, because adding like that permanence and that like all the particles can make a game feel so amazing really easily. Here's another guy. Yeah, this guy is a Baron inspiration, is a really good idea. I think mainly the way he's like holding his sword could be a great reference. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. Dead. Awesome. Up we go. Okay, we're getting. Oh, we're on one heart. I didn't realize that until now. I knew I was doing bad, but that's not great, is it? Photographer's ring. Some floors are familiar. Interesting. Okay, let's head up to here. Okay, I've got to be really careful not to take damage now if I want to at least survive to the first boss. Oh, you're kidding me, aren't you? Okay, cool. Okay, half a heart, what could go wrong? I've got an angry book. I need to make sure I'm dodging more, actually. Okay. Let's not go in there, not just yet. Let's see. Oh, let's go up there and use the teleporter singing my bob. And let's come down here and let's go explore. There should be a shop somewhere, right? So hopefully I can buy some sort of upgrade. I think it would be smart to at least try and get some sort of health upgrade for now, before I attempt the big boss. Dodge, perfect. Nice. Oh, here we go, here's a shop. Oh, there's one boss in there, consumes one blue bullet and clear. Oh, true. I believe that's Q. I completely forgot about that. I don't know if they show it. I think that's Q. I don't entirely know, so we might just have to risk that. Ooh, regular shotgun. I can buy that. Armor, key, ammo. I think I should probably buy the armor. I think that'd be the smartest thing. Flare gun. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the extra armor. I think that'd be a smart business decision. Okay, let's do it, guys. Okay, the chances of me surviving here are extremely slim, so let's try our best. Oh no. Dodge, 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 dash. Okay, as long as I dodge, that's all I have to do. It can't be that hard, right? He probably has multiple phases, doesn't he? Oh, not looking forward to seeing his other ones. What was that? Did he throw... Is that a Molotov cocktail? Oh, yikes. Okay. Dodge, 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 dash. Perfect. Okay. No. Okay, there goes one life. Somehow I managed to not get hit there at all. Okay, come on. Come on, okay. We're over the halfway mark, and I've taken one of my 3 hit points. Oh, I hate that. Okay, that works. He's the worst in the first level? Oh no. Kind of, I remember there was that like bird guy who had a very cool aesthetic. Okay, I'm actually kind of doing this though, and I don't entirely know how. Please don't get hit. There we go. Come on, just a tiny bit more. If I die now, I'm going to be devastated. Okay. One more hit point. Okay, let's test it. Okay, the Q. Yeah, it is Q. Okay, I have one more of those. Never mind. I no longer do. Okay, come on. He's so close. Dodge, 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 dash. Got a couple more shots. That was close. Let's go! was a miracle. That should not have happened. I should be dead. Well, that guy didn't look very happy. Okay, on to the next up. The stream continues. I didn't expect to get that fun, as you guys can probably tell. Micro decisions, indeed, indeed. Gungeon proper. Okay, where are they at? Oh, this gun's nice. I don't know what that is though. Oh wow, I've already taken tons of damage. I wonder, was the guys... Okay, for a second I saw that I was just gonna insta-kill me. I can jump over, yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, there's a shop in that direction. Let's come over here. Oh, so that geography thing must have been allowing me to see the map slightly ahead of where I was before. I see. I don't know how the... okay, I have 312 ammo. Okay. I'm going to try and save that gun for the harder situations later on. I don't really know what the strats are in this game, what the meta is. Nice. Nice, nice. Come on. Perfect. And there are more. Oh, these guys do not look nice. I love the enemy design in this game, is amazing. And there goes another hit point. Oh, okay, there we go. We get a heal. We get a heal up, a medkit, I don't know. Okay. These enemies are adorable though. No one can deny that. So that's back to where we were. Let's TP over here. And okay, back. Jump over that. Whoa, okay, let's... Those guys were not very nice. Oh, here we go. Here's another person I can take a lot of inspiration from. Ooh, that enemy design is very nice. The whoosh sound as he spins the hammer thing, metal chain. This is definitely one I'm going to use my belly gun for. I don't even know where I got hit from. No. Ah. That sucks. That's annoying. Well, I think, yeah, you can make enemies with self-destruct. Maybe it would be fun. Yeah, I was thinking some sort of explosive enemy could be very interesting later on. I have to find a way to make that fun though, for both the enemy and the player. So again, always coming back to that kind of trade-off. However, ladies and gentlemen, I think that brings our stream to a close. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I'll probably stream tomorrow morning when I'm a bit fresher and keep on working on this Baron kind of guy. And yeah, I hope to see a few of you there. Until then, see you guys next time.